This video contains subject matter that may be offensive and disturbing to some people. If you are the type to require a warning throughout a video or show, let this message serve as your warning. This channel discusses the harsh reality of true crime. If this warning is not sufficient for you, consider a different genre and unsubscribe from my channel immediately.
It's the house!
What's going on, freakazoids? What's going on, everybody? Took Blue in to get his little, I think he got like a, I forgot what they call it, but it was like a, I don't know, echocardiogram or whatever the hell it was. I guess he has like a enlarged heart, you know, and they're going to give him medication to slow everything down, you know, but maybe he'll get heart failure at some point, but who knows when that'll be. I think Blue's 10 or something right now, but he seems pretty active still, running around, and so now I gotta give him the medication every, I think it's every 50 days. I mean, not every 50 days, but like 2 pills a day for 50 days, and then you can do it again. Forever. Look how Chloe, you can barely see Chloe sitting on there. You know, like if she closed her eyes and just laid down, like buried her nose, you wouldn't even see her. All right. It's kind of an interesting day today. In this case of Charlotte Sena and Craig Ross Jr., the abductor. I think it's really likely. I mean, see, somebody that's 46 years old doesn't just start doing that. The only sort of outlying thing that he's doing is that he asked for a ransom, which is sort of different than, you know, like a killer going out and killing. It's like he was looking for money. I don't know. It's kind of that's the outlier, the thing that makes it a little weird. But usually somebody at 46 who's abducting girls didn't start when they were 46. And there's a couple of cases. Web Sleuth was covering it. They were covering one of them, then I started looking at it, and then while looking up one of the other girls, it went back to Web Sleuth again, and it looks like a couple of people there are putting the same pieces of the puzzle together. JLR had a live stream. It was pretty interesting. He went out to the home of the parents, and then on, let's see, I think it was, the hell was that? Yeah, so on this site, let me get to the other screen here. Right here, this is one of the addresses associated with Craig Ross, and it's 13 Circle Drive, and that's right here, and that's where he was doing a live stream, sitting there, and then investigators showed up. They weren't there that long, and then after that there was the son showed up, I believe. He's like 22 years old. He was in Ben Verified. I saw his name. I think like Joshua or something like that. He shows up, and then he literally said stuff like, I know the gravity of this. I'm going to let's see, he knows the gravity of it, and he doesn't give two craps about his dad, type of thing. And it was kind of interesting. I mean, it looks exactly like this on the video. So he was actually talking from on this porch, and you can actually make out the words. And he was yelling back from this porch right here. And this is a 2014 shot. So what's interesting about this location is that the parents live right here. And as you can see, basically the entire distance between them is just a wooded area there. And the distance from Charlotte's parents to, where is it showing that? I'm going to use a different thing, hold on. I like the straight line, it's a little easier. It is, in terms of miles, it's only a quarter of a mile away through the woods. And so there were people saying yesterday that he was a neighbor, and so that means this very likely that this is something he planned out. Now, as you can see right now, you guys, we're at 0 on the super chat front on the channel. You guys know what the drill. Every single night we raise money to help support this channel and the various charities that we give money to, a ton of money. I think we're at 45,000 this year so far, and that's the only way to make it happen. All right. So thank you. If you can afford it and you want to help support this channel, that would be awesome. Anyways, so look how close he lived there. And so you might think of, he was here and he was monitoring this little girl over here. And then he followed the family on their camping trip. He probably even one night noticed, oh, they're loading up camping gear. And then followed the family out to the park, where I think it was called Morrow Lake Park. And the entrance to the park is right here. Now, JLR, again, he was out here filming this area. And as we've been, oh, look at that, my pins were in the air right there. Now, as you can see on the show for the last 2 days, I have a circle here where I think this is where the abduction took place. You know, it could be a little bit further up. You know, the thing is when he was out there, there was yellow tape right here, meaning that's probably where the bike was found. So it's really close. I think he parked the car right here on the side of the road, abducted her on this bike path, and then whisked her away in his vehicle like this. Probably got onto, let's see, I think it's called S Road, and then onto Highway 9 right here, then took Highway 9 all the way down into Saratoga Springs, and then maybe took 29 over here, and then down Middle Line Road, and then you're back home at that point. And he took her to his mother's house, which is right here, and then into a trailer right there. Just a second. Got to reset some things. Yeah, that's what everybody says when there's a crime right next to them. It's weird. Yeah, and I'm going to tell you right now, I think it's almost absolutely certain that Craig Ross has killed some other people. I mean, if it isn't, it's another one of those most amazing coincidences in the history of mankind. All right? So a couple nights ago, I mean 3 nights ago now, Charlotte Sena and her family were at this park, as I was saying a minute ago, the Moreau Lake State Park. There's only one way into the park and one way out right there, but Old Saratoga Road runs right along the, I think it's called Loop A right here. They were at Site 18, which is right there. Her bike apparently was found at 11. Site number 10's right there. And looks like I have these. I gotta pin these to the ground. That's right. Yeah, so I think if I move, I'm trying to get a good. Let me pin these to the ground and see what happens. I'm trying to figure out where these actually are. So that says clamped to the ground. Weirdly, it's kind of floating. See? And then it goes to the ground. So there you go. That's where the bike was basically right there. There's yellow crime scene tape right there. And the abductor was likely right around in this area. That's where I originally had it. And then the other day it looked like there was this really isolated campsite right here where it could have happened. But since the yellow tape is here, that's likely where the bike was. And because the bike was there, that's likely the place where like she was abducted from and then taken straight to the vehicle right there. All right, there you go, you guys. As you can see on the screen, we are at 0, which is insane, even this late into the show. Let's see, or early. I agree, though, and there's quite a few unsolved cases. And right, well, I'm going to show you these cases, and then you'll just go, wow, how could they not be connected? All right? Geographically, they're almost a certainty that they're connected. Where's the stream? I don't know where the freak boss went. Oh no. Is he right there? Oh, there we go. It's purely for money and the first time doing something. Ah, no way. Sure, I see you. No chance. I mean, if it is, it'd be just an absolute miracle. Wow, thanks, brown-eyed girl. It was like, whoa, never seen a show start so slowly. I'm not doing too bad. Faith, thanks for the support in there. I mean, it was so weird. I was over there and just corrected a few things that he had wrong, and people go, "Oh, Gray, what are you doing?" It was like 500 people attacking for absolutely no reason. I didn't say anything rude or anything. He said it was 2 miles from the abductor's house to the parents' house, and it's 0.26 miles. It's 1/10. That means something too, because it means they're literally neighbors. Thanks, Eugenie. Because I like The Fly, Donna G. If you don't like The Fly, go watch something else. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Why is there always a complainer? That's a better question, Why is there always a complainer about how somebody does a show? It's weird. It's even weirder. Let's see. Makes you wonder if he was stalking. I think he was. I think he was stalking the family. And so after, it was like 6:15 is when she did the last bike loop, and then 6:45 they were like, hey, she's not around, and then police got there soon after that, and then miraculously at the parents' house right here, at the parents' house at 4:30 in the morning, somebody was observed putting a note in the mailbox. Then they took the note out of the mailbox and extracted fingerprint. It took a while, but they got a fingerprint, and then at 2:30 in the afternoon the same day, they got a name of somebody who had a drunk driving. I think he pleaded guilty to that. 1999. That's weird. 1999. I didn't really think about that, but that's when he was living at a certain place. Okay, let's see. So that's where his parents live, right here. That's where he put the note. But he lived right here. I don't know if he was living there right at the time, because apparently he wasn't paying something, so he was living at his parents' house, but his kids were living there. So how could his kids still live there, but he is? I mean, so that part doesn't make much sense. Thanks, Elaine Talling. Well, thanks, Faith. Yeah, the fly is just something. Who cares? I mean, it's a fly on the screen. It's hey Donna, it's okay. Listen, if you hate the fly, then you're too triggered to watch. I mean, it's okay. It's okay. You don't need to be here. All right. I don't need to hear your complaint though. It's a freaking fly. That's a graphic fly. It's not real. Okay, it's not a real fly, everybody. My God. Complain somewhere else. Can I just have one show without complaints? Just one. Just one show where somebody doesn't whine about some way that I'm doing something. See, I'm just a real speaker. I don't care. Here's the thing, everybody. If you don't like me, don't watch the damn show. I don't care. I would like it if you like the way I do it. But if you don't like it, I'm not going to change to make you like me more. So I'm not like the other ones. Just, oh, please sub, please. I need more subs, please. Okay, I'm not going to do it. All right, I'm just going to do my show the way I want to do it. And if you don't like it, do something else. Okay? It's that simple. It's always been that simple for everybody. No, I don't want, you guys don't have to jump in either. I'm just telling you the reality. And if it was you on the other side, if you caved in, then it would be the exact same. I would think, oh God, really? Be yourself. And if people don't like the way you are, then they can go somewhere else. Hey, thanks, T-Bone66Z. God, it's just like I'm right in the middle on a roll and somebody's complaining about a fly on the screen. I mean, give me a break. It's just freaking crazy. Oh my God, how about you pay attention to what we're talking about? That's a little more important. Because you'll see here in a minute, this is absolutely insane. Yeah, remember that? Got that brick wall behind me. Where the hell's the brick wall? I'm gonna put 6 more flies up there. How do you like that? All right, so here we go. Yeah, so it was amazing police work. That was like old school police work, sped up. Back in the day, they had to look through books and compare fingerprints. I mean, imagine that work. Now it's a computer that goes, hey, these look pretty good, and then somebody does the final. Oh yeah, there you go, boom. It's pretty awesome. Yeah, as a matter of fact, the fly was gone for a while, and I brought it back. Because I just turned everything off one day to do something, and I forgot to turn it back on. Thanks, Cheryl.
It's just like the brick wall behind Gray. Movable, haha.
That's right. So here we go. We're going to start off with a case of Jennifer Hammond from 2009, everybody. So here we go. We're going to load this sucker up. It was in the Times Union here. So here we go. They give a skull fragments identified as missing Colorado woman. So she actually went missing in 2003, I believe. But her skull was found in 2009. Hey, thanks, Sandy Shirley.
Thanks, Gray. Smiley face. Heart.
Hey, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Is that how I zoom in? Oh, yeah, there we go. So this is where they have, the remains were found right there. Let me show you where those remains were found. Okay, her body was found right here. So we're already in the general area here, everybody. Look at. We're in the general area here. This is 2003 she went missing, and I just have a pin basically exactly where they have one on their map, right on this part where it goes straight right there. And that is right on that section right here. As you can see, it's kind of, so in the woods somewhere over there. And it says, for the family of 18-year-old Jennifer Hammond, the wait and hope are over. Police on Thursday positively identified skull fragments discovered Monday in a remote part of Greenfield as belonging to the Colorado woman who was last seen at the Creek and Pines Trailer Park in Milton. Well, gosh, where is that? Well, it's right here. This is where Craig's parents live. Craig Ross's parents live. This is the trailer he was in. And look where that trailer park is. Creek and Pines Trailer Park. Amazingly, at one point in 1999, Craig Ross lived at this these trailer right here, okay? So we've got that. And it says, let's see. So she was last seen at the Creek and Pines Trailer Park in Milton in late August of 2003. So that would make him, what is it? So 2003, 20 years ago, he'd be about 26 years old. Police say they're handling the case as a homicide, but have no suspects. Everyone wants to know where their loved one is. Thank you, Circa, then. Yeah, I was already saying that, so yeah. Everyone wants to know where their loved one is, Saratoga County Sheriff James Bowen said. At least it will give closure to the family. Hammond, originally from Littleton, Colorado, was selling magazines in the area. So this is what she was doing. She was selling magazines in the area with her employer, Atlantic Circulation Company. She failed to appear at a designated pickup point and was never seen or heard from again. Remains found Monday were identified with a check of dental records involving a number of unsolved local missing persons cases. There were sufficient surfaces as well as dental work that had been done to compare it to the records. Saratoga County District Attorney James Murphy III, State Police Major William Sprague. It says, we were fortunate to get an identification this early in the case. We have found nothing else other than what was secured on the first and second day. We are still looking for other things. The Sheriff's Office, State Police are conducting joint investigations together with Murphy. They held a press conference Thursday afternoon to announce Hammond's identity. They'll continue to search that area of the woods, Murphy said. Nearby, there might be more remains or bones. Certainly the search will broaden in scope. Hammond was 5 feet 2 inches tall and weighed 110 pounds and had hazel eyes, light brown hair. She had a tattoo on her right hip showing a peace symbol surrounded by a ring of fire. A hunter found her skull fragments on the north side of Fox Hill near the Greenfield Edinburgh town line on Monday afternoon. Remains were found in 3 parts: a skull section, part of the jaw including some teeth, and a portion of orbital bone. Sprague declined comment about whether the condition of bones indicated violence or foul play. The heavily wooded site is off an unpaved section of town road about 20 miles from the Milton Trailer Park where Hammond was last seen at the corner of Geyser and Middle Line Road. Let's see where that is. Geyser, is that right here? There's Middle Line, so where's Geyser Road? Okay, so she was seen right here. God, it's just classic. Jennifer last seen, right there. What part of the school? Decline to comment. There it is. Police said it's too early to tell if there's a connection, but her case bears striking similarity to that of then 19-year-old Christina N. White, whose badly decomposed remains were found at Daketown State Forest in Greenfield. So where's that? So that's the other case, by the way. There it is. I have no doubt at all that these are connected somehow. I mean, look how ridiculous this is, you guys. So her remains were found in here. And this is... I mean, I don't know. I mean, I have doubt, but it just seems so... Like, how could they not be connected here? This is almost ridiculous. So look at that. That's where her remains were found. Look how close it is even again to where David, the father, at one time, this is the father of Charlotte lived. I mean, everything is so close here. And then, so look where Jennifer Marie was found. It's almost in the same direction, too, from the area they went missing. So you're up in this, so one was here, and then over here. Whose badly decomposed remains were found at Daketown State Forest in Greenfield on March 10, 2006. She was last seen in the Geyser Road, Rowland Street area. Really? Geyser Road, Rowland Street. I mean, isn't that the same road? You guys, you're just not going to believe. Let me just show you right now. I'm not even going to waste any more time here. Look how ridiculous this is right here. So let me go to Ben Verified again one more time. Hold on. And I'm going to open him up. Craig Ross, N. Ross in New York. And then previous addresses. Watch this. Is it this one? No, that was... God, I just went off the screen. Where was one in 1999? There you go, right here. So watch this. This is where he lived in 1999, the same year that he had the drunk driving. So here's where Craig Ross lived. He lived in a trailer, number 80 here. Well, guess where Christina White lived? She lived in the same trailer park. I mean, you don't think that is just like, hello? How could that even, I mean, look at that. So this other girl that went missing, Christina White, lived in the exact same trailer park as Craig Ross did in 1999. And then look where his mom lives there. I think she's lived there for many, many years. And then here's the trailer park that Moonbeam, Jennifer went missing from. Right here. And she was last seen on this road, which is the same road that this girl was last seen on. Then both of them are taken up to Christina's remains were found there, and then Jennifer is found up there. So out of town, get up north in the wooded area. See how wooded it kind of is? And this is where Charlotte was kept, in that trailer right there. Really? Come on, you guys. There's almost no chance. That's why I was saying a minute ago, if he's not related to them, it is a freaking miracle. Okay? Absolute miracle. It's one of those things where you go, how could he not be? Yet we do have cases like that where there isn't a connection. But look at that. He lived at this one in 1999, and she went missing in 2006. Was he still living there? Or he just knew the area really well? And then also on the same street right here, hold on a second, let me get the... Yeah, so Jennifer Hammond was here selling books at this trailer park, was last seen right here in 2003. Then in 2005, just 2 years later, Christina White. So Jennifer Marie Hammond was only 4 years after he at one time lived in this trailer park. Then in 2005, Christina White went missing, and her last known location was this trailer park right here, the same one that Craig Ross lived in. And his mom lives over here the whole time, and he's moved all over the place. He lived over here, right there at one point. He lived, he actually lived over here in 2018. And then he lived right here now. He's currently, just recently lived right here. His kids live right there. And this is where Charlotte's parents live. Yeah, so I think when you see what I'm showing you here, you're definitely, it'd be hard to believe that they're not connected in somehow, or some way, don't you think? What address? God, just be really specific. And then I can answer the question. It's the 900 Rock City Road, Trailer 80. I have it go, date seen February 1999, but it could be later than that, because the next one is 13 Circle Drive in 2007. So he probably moved home to his mother's house, which is right here. That's 2007. And he also lived in Fayetteville Road, Galway, New York in 1999 also. So maybe maybe Intellis has a better range. But again, everybody, this is a monetized YouTube channel. If you'd like to help support the channel, that would be absolutely awesome. Allows me to keep doing these shows. We do shows 3 hours a day, 7 days a week, basically every day of the year. I might take 3 or 4 days off for the entire year. And then when the ad revenue, channel memberships, super chats, all the revenue comes in on YouTube, and I give over 50% of the net revenue after I pay taxes. I just pay taxes, and then whatever left, I give more than half to charities and a DNA fund that we have. And we're now starting a scholarship fund for the fallen freaks. Freak members. We've had 3 moderators over the last 4 years pass away, and there's probably many more freaks, and it'd be cool to do something in their honor. So we're building up a scholarship fund, and they'll be given to a student in the forensic sciences major, whatever the hell you want to call it. So anyways, thanks JT and Janelle Glover and Cindy Leon. Right. Yeah, when I do these shows, there's many people that try to skate by and not speak English and use really crazy words. to so that they can somehow avoid the censorship. But I'm not going to not say the word murdered or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I'm not going to spell out DIED. I mean, I think it gets really childish at that point. If we can't use actual words, what the hell are we doing? All right. Yeah, I mean, we make a huge difference. I don't know if you're new here and you don't know. Let me just show you this. No, these are real numbers, all shown on the screen as we do them since January 2020. We've given $168,000 to charities, a DNA fund, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. And this year we're at $45,850, where we've given Indigenous Vision $500, Scholarship $1,500, Project Recovery $1,000, Wounded Warriors $1,500, the DNA Fund $16,500, NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children $5,250, RAIN, Violence Against Women $5,250, Innocence Project $2,000, Texas Echo Search $4,850, Black and Missing $2,500. So if that's not making a difference, I don't know what is. We can all report and do whatever, but let's try to make a difference out there. I do think, like, for example, when, just to give JLR props, when he was on the scene when there's a guy missing, I think he provided a sort of a thing where, not missing, when the guy was, a convict was on the loose, that one. It made people feel safer there. Like there's somebody on the scene and they're filming. So I think that was valuable to people. I mean, it made a difference in people. So you got to give credit for things like that. Thanks, Squatch DTV and Nemelotus. Nemelotus. Now there's no date in there for the trailers. But but here's the thing. I don't even know if it matters if there's a date overlap. You know what I mean? Like, this is one of those things where he was very, very familiar with this area here. He may have even had his eye on somebody when he was there. Because she was, I think, 18 or 19 when she went missing, but looked really young and really tiny. And so he might have been watching her when he was there, and he went back and saw her, and then he abducted her. I can't ignore the ridiculous coincidence it would be that you have a man, just look at this right here. Well, thank you. Yeah, I got stuff to read through on those other cases, by the way. What do you mean you want to be updated from last night? Okay, let me say. So Charlotte was rescued after law enforcement observed a note being put into her parents' mailbox at 4:30 in the morning. Got a fingerprint. Law enforcement got a fingerprint from the letter in the mailbox. It led to an individual named Ross. Hold on. Craig Ross, man, his first name never just doesn't pop in my head. Craig Ross Jr., where he had his fingerprints in the system from a 1999 DWI, which is ironic because that's the same time frame that he was living in this trailer park right here. And so they've arrested him, but they're doing a lot of police work today. A lot of, like, they have the whole park shut down. Isn't that weird a little bit? Like, you got to admit it's weird to have that park shut down when they've already found her and everything, and he obviously did it. Isn't that just, I think that's strange. To me, that means that there's something else going on here. I think they're looking for something specific. And so what we're taking a look at right now is a possible connection to two cold cases from 2003 and 2005. Now, if you just got here, look at this right now. Here is where the helicopter was flying around yesterday, And then I put a pin in the middle of it, and it almost landed on the exact trailer that Craig was found in, and so was Charlotte was found in there, inside of a closet wrapped in a blanket. So it was in there. And now just look at this right here. So this is where his mother lives. And he's had connection to this house for a long time. How about this, Zozo? Can you look up that number 13, how long the mother had lived at... hold on, let me get this one. Let me get the mother here. Probably Joan Ross. Yeah, and it's 2133 Barrett Road, Ballston Spa, New York. All right. So that's the one. It looks like from 1989. Okay, 89 to 2023. All right. So look at that. 1989 to 2023. The mothers lived here. So that means that Craig Ross. Well, thank you. Well, I appreciate that. Some people like the way my mind works, and some people hate my guts. Some people hate my guts and like the way my mind works. Anyways, you've got this trailer park right here. And look where the mother has lived the whole time. So he always had her house as a base. It makes you wonder now. This is somewhat new here. So let's go back in time. We go back to, I think it was 2020. It's still there, the trailer. Then 2018, it's not there. So that might be a new development there. But let's see what was going on. And like that's 1995, 2004. Snow on the ground there. Not a lot of clear shots coming up in here. There's one from 2011. So maybe there was a time where he was using some of these sheds here, or it's just some other place. We don't know. But I bet you his mother's house was his safety zone, where he didn't want to ever have anything connected to his own house, but perhaps his mother or his parents' property, he would bring people. Who knows? But here's what we know now, though. So Jennifer, these are the cold cases I'm going to bring up. Jennifer Marie Hammond was from Colorado, but she was here, I don't know, I think she was just here selling the books or whatever, but she was selling like encyclopedias or something. And she was at the Creek and Pines Trailer Park right here, and this is 2003, and she went missing. Last seen right there at that intersection, okay? So you might go, wow, that is kind of coincidental. I mean, his mom lives right there. And then if that was a one-off, you might go, yeah, I don't know. But here's the thing. Craig Ross lived in this trailer park here, at least in 2009. 1999, excuse me. 1999. So then there was another girl that went missing in 2005 named Christina White, and she lived in the same apartment complex right there. I mean, trailer park, excuse me. It's hard for me to remember the trailer park for some reason. So you have this trailer park and this trailer park on the same road, and they go missing. And guess who lives in the area the whole time? Craig Ross. And if those aren't related, man, wow. Thanks, Linda K. Yeah, not right there, though. Not right there. I mean, he is literally living on top of them. Now, I guess there could have been, in a trailer park, a sex offender living in there. But man, he's been living in the area the whole time. He didn't just start when he was 46. Thank you, Janet Poré. I'm not sure how to say that last name. Sorry about that. I'm sure it's French. I can't say it. Thank you for the outstanding investigation grade. Definitely making a difference in the world. Well, hey, thank you. So he lived there at one time, Craig Ross did. He lived over here at one point. Look how he's always lived right here. I mean, this is kind of a big area, but all the yellow pins here are something associated with this case. and where he lived at one point. I'm sure they've got to be aware. I actually think that some of these searches that they're doing right now are because of him. He may have even been somebody they were interested in a long time ago, but never could find any tangible anything. Now they have him abducting a girl and finding her in a trailer on that property, and they just went boom right back into investigation mode. Now here's the thing, it's possible he's not connected to those. But man, if he's not, wouldn't you be almost surprised when you look at that right there? That he literally lived in the same damn trailer park that she went missing from. And let's just do a circle here, put it right in the middle, right here, and then just sort of right like that. I mean, it's only a half-mile radius. And that's even too much. It's wider than it should be. Of the whole thing there.
Chewbacca?
No, I think they definitely need to look into this. I think it's related. Hey, thank you, Kentucky Church Guy and Regina Heath. Our goal this year is to get to over 60,000 charity given out. Now we did 62 last year, but there was some 2 or 3 ridiculously high income months that came in during the Idaho 4 and like 2 other cases. Thanks, LM. So here's what I do. I just realized it the other day. I was listening to a guy that does, he's a basketball person. And he collates. I think that's what I do. I take pieces of information, put it together into what looks like, and I do my own investigation into old cases too, looking up articles and things like that. But I put together, so there could be somebody over here that finds something. There could be somebody over here that finds something. And, so for example, today, like I was saying, when JLR was out at this place here, I kind of was watching the later live stream mainly to compare it to what we had already came up with. And it looked pretty accurate. So let me show you a couple of these. I think I have the screenshots here. Maybe they're in a different, it's over here. Yeah. Well, I'll just show you. He was down here walking on the street, and I was using the signs that were on the various trees and whatnot, and it was right around in this area where if you look through the woods, you could see yellow tape. I think it was actually, let's see, if I back up a little bit. You could see yellow tape through the woods right through there, and he even had this, like exactly the same set of trees. And there's yellow tape right there, and that means that's where the bike was found. So when I go up in the air here, and I see that, okay, there's where the yellow tape was, just outside of the circle that we had there. I had the abductor parked on the road right there, but it easily could be right here. It doesn't. So it was kind of like, okay, cool. It looks like that is, we have it right? Now, mine show way before that, Zozo, so your thing's wrong there. Are you talking about the drive where his parents live? Yeah, I have it from way back. Yeah, that's not accurate. Yeah, his parents have lived there since 1989 at minimum. I was actually thinking something like that. Like, I think it'd be cool to have somebody that's always roving around at the big ones to... and I can't do it. I mean, I can't just jump on a plane. Yeah. As well as confirm murders. Yeah, we're just looking at this one right now. Got a few other ones. Yeah, you might want to look that up there. I'm sure there's some abductions. Hey, thank you very much, Brown-Eyed Girl 714, Beth B. Thank you very much. You are such a leader on these cases. Thank you. Vanessa Dance, thanks for all you do. And Scott Coulter. By the way, did somebody did...
You are such a leader on these cases.
Thanks, Kentucky Church Guy, Regina Heath, Whiskey Boot 19, and LM. Simply Me. I wanted to figure out how to say that name, though. And thank you, Claudia Neubauer. But yeah, Janet, where did you ever answer the question? Like how to pronounce that name? I'm looking, don't see it. Yeah, you know, I mean, I have to admit, like, it's pretty impressive that he gets to all of these different scenes out there. I just do something different here. It's a different genre, basically. I got her to watch this with me tonight, and she wanted to donate. Really? Well, thanks, JT. Say hello to your mom. Let's see. Hello, JT's mom. Thank you. That was very cool. So let's do a poll on this one. All right. So are those other two cases related to Craig? Yep. Yeah, I try to figure out what happened. You know, so like even when the news goes out live somewhere in reports, I like to try to figure out what happened, put the pieces together. So that's where I'm different. I mean, I could go to the scene, and you know, when I went to Idaho recently, it was that was pretty interesting. You know, it didn't really. The thing here's the reality, everybody. If you're watching my show, the amount of street view and stuff we use in terms of, you know, spatial relationships in the crimes, it doesn't really you know it really well when you get there. So when you get there, you go, oh yeah, I know where this is. I know exactly where this is, etc., etc., etc. I think it's more than a possibility. To me, it's just, you know, the odds of that are so low.
In Central NY, and I got her to watch this with me tonight, and she wanted to donate. Keep up the great work.
Well, thank you. That was so very kind. Thank you very much. Yeah. I mean, you know, anything's possible, but this seems almost likely. When you have, within a half mile of his mom's house, he lived in the same circle and his mom's house. Two girls inside of the circle go missing in 2003, 2005, and inside that same circle, you find Charlotte is inside a cabinet in this guy's house. In the same little circle here. And he lived there and he lived there. So you have missing. Craig lived there, all inside of there. And then a third person, Charlotte, was found inside of a cabinet there. And, let's see, she lived up here at David and Trisha's house. And he lived right here during that time. But he used his mom's house again as a base down here. So was he doing that back then too? It would be real almost strange if they weren't. Yeah, I'll do the comments in here, Danielle. Thank you. I just found out on the MLS that Joan Ross bought the property from Craig. Huh? Oh, the senior. Okay. Also, the father then probably owned it before, and she's still associated with it. Yeah. But I do need more evidence before I can commit to an absolute yes. Yeah, well, I'm not saying it's an absolute yes. I think it's more likely than not that he has something to do with it. That's what I'm saying. I mean, you're talking. I mean, but here's one way you could also counter it with. You got 2 trailer parks there. You know, not disparaging trailer park, but a lot of times there's some shady people that live in trailer parks, and there's 2 trailer parks. Here's what I will say. I'll say this. I think that Christina White and Jennifer's murder are absolutely connected. Okay? I think they're related. And the connection to Craig Ross Jr. is that he lived in one of the trailer parks, and his mom lives right here in the same, like within a half-mile radius circle, all inside of it. So I think how about this? It's more likely that Craig Ross and Jennifer are related, and then it's likely that let's see, Christina White and Jennifer are related. Their murders are connected. Like, let's give that 90%. And then it's like 65% that Craig Ross is connected to those 2 as well as Charlotte. That's how I would look at it. Hey, thanks, Patricia Galindo. Hey, Freak Fam, came in late, trying to catch up at 1.5 speed. How's the goal? It was sort of slow there last month for a while, but tonight's doing pretty good. But hey, if you want to help out, you can help out. I don't want. Here's the thing, everybody. I don't want anybody sending this channel a nickel if you're broke. Okay. Like, if you don't have any money and you're like, and also if you want to send your money directly to a charity of your choice, great. But if you want to help support the channel, knowing that some of the money goes, well, a large portion goes to charity too, and that allows me to keep going, then thank you. Let's see. Oh, cool. Death penalty for people that can. Man, I'm having a deja vu right now. It's weird. Have you ever had a vuja day, though, where you've never seen this before? Oh, well, let me know. Remind me tomorrow, Tracy. We'll get Mary Lou to sing happy birthday.
I'm not singing a damn thing, right?
Oh my God, she's already getting sassy. All right, so let's get going. I'll read some more about these cases though, to see if there's anything else that in them. All right, so 2017, another article in Times Union. We're still looking. Hold on. Too big. There we go. Jesus. I thought we already looked at this one. No, we did the skull fragments and then this one. Yeah, I think we did this one. Revealed she was stabbed to death. So it said Christina White, whose badly decomposed remains were found in Datetown State Forest in Greenfield on March 10, 2006. She was last seen in the Geyser Road, Roland Street area. So let's see where that is. Geyser Street. Geyser Road, Roland Street. Yeah. Roland Street. Is this Roland Street right here? Okay, so she was seen on the same highway right here. Yeah, so she was last seen right there. And then Jennifer's last seen on the same highway. This guy probably just kept doing, you know, going back and forth, waiting for somebody. Roland Street Garage. Why do I have that up there? Oh. So there's another trailer park right there. Jesus. But she lived in this one. And then she was last seen right there. What do you mean? I don't know. I mean, maybe he was older. The sexual part left there. You know, who knows? He could have abducted her, and then he realized that the fantasy wasn't being fulfilled or whatever. So then he thought, well, how do I give her back? Well, at least I can make some money off of it or something. But I got to admit, the ransom angle of the case is counter to a like serial predator killer type. So we have to know, I mean, we don't get to know, but it'd be nice to know if he tried something there. What do you mean, Gray? Come on, LM, don't start your shit again, please. Please don't start your shit again. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. This is what you always do, Gray. Come on, that kind of crap. Nobody knows what you're talking about. Has anyone made the connection with Odinism yet? Yes, I have, and the tunnels underneath the entire city. It's incredible out there, you guys. Yeah, so the thing is that the part about the ransom is different than what you normally get from serial killer predator types, you know, unless the other two victims had ransom notes that we're not aware about, like they kept it private. Oh yeah, look it. Hey, thanks, Linda. Look at that. 5 gifted memberships. Is there any truth to his brother being a predator too? I don't know where people are coming up with that the other guy is his brother. I haven't seen anywhere on any charts anywhere where he's connected, but one news outlet said that other guy, was it Craig or something? Well, not Craig. Charles Ross. Maybe he was related or something. Yeah, I mean, it could be anything like that. I mean, we'd have to be able to read the ransom note too, you know. Right, well, we don't know for certain if he assaulted her yet, do we? I think he probably, you know, that's why he abducted her. You would think, anyways. He's 46 years old. I hope he didn't. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah, well, a lot of times police will say that they weren't assaulted, and they really were. They say, I would say 90% of the time, they'll literally tell a lie to the public, or, you know, a non-truth. It's hard to, you know, lie sounds nefarious. Where he's been since the early 2000s. Right, like, so this guy, he's 46 years old. He didn't start abducting girls when he was 46. So I think it was Eugenie up there who said, has he been abducting other people? You know, during this time, We don't know. We don't know. So let me keep reading on this. She was last seen on Geyser Road, Roland Street, area of Milton. On the early morning of July 1st, 2005, the sheriff's office announced that an examination of White's skeleton revealed she was stabbed to death. The site where she was found is off Lake Desolation Road. That turns into Fox Hill Road, where Hammond's remains were found. Lake Desolation Road. Okay, and then where's Fox Hill? Alright. Okay, so this is where we had it already. Lake Desolation Road. Lake Desolation Road. Oh, and then it's Fox Hill right there. So it could be a little bit further up than they have it, just like right here. And if you notice, he lives in the area here. So if I went like this, watch this here. This stuff actually matters. Watch this. If I went and I made a circle and said, okay, this is his, let's just say his mom is the central zone here. And you went like this. Yeah, so he probably knows this whole area really well. You know, he lived here. He lived over here. And look where the bodies are all inside of the areas that he knew. But I'm sure there's other people that have lived in the area and know the area pretty well. I'm just saying. I don't even think you need to make it that big. I think you could probably come in closer in here and just be maybe like right there. And then just like that. That's crazy. And then even this one is right there anyways. I mean, I'm telling you guys, I think that one's connected. Where Hammond's remains were found, Sprague also declined comment when asked if Monday's discovery points to local or a suspect, perhaps someone familiar with back county roads. See here, that's pretty interesting. Thank you, Mama She 13. Yep, a lot of real life stuff's been going on here, Mama She 13. Thank you. And everybody's life. I don't know what you're talking about, boycott. You have to explain better than that. It's way too early to speculate on anything like that, he said. Bauman said Hammond worked for Atlantic Circulation previously and left the company before returning to work for them again, based in Mountainville, Pennsylvania. The company has been accused of scamming money from the public and operated the Geyser Crest neighborhood again this summer. Company officials could not be reached for comment. In 2003, the firm set up operations in Albany and sent out teams of salespeople, including Hammond, to work the Capital District. They were in the area about 30 to 60 days, Bauman said. Hammond had made arrangements to return home, buying a bus ticket from Albany to Colorado, but the ticket was never picked up. Her belongings were found in Albany Hotel, and she never contacted her family again. However, she wasn't reported missing until November of 2003, 3 months after she was last seen. I don't know why, Bauman said. The day she disappeared, Hammond was dropped off at the Milton Trailer Park with the understanding she'd be picked up a couple of hours later. So that's crazy, right? I mean, so she's at this right here, So she was going to be, or is it this one? Creek and Pines Trailer Park. What was the one she was at? Wasn't reported missing. Disappeared. Dropped off at the Milton trailer. This is it. They're just using the city. Milton Trailer Park. With the understanding she'd be picked up a couple hours later.
Hope everyone is doing well. Heart.
So when she was dropped off, 2 hours later they came back and she was gone. And so apparently she was I think she was probably last seen. I mean, I don't know if somebody literally saw her there, or is that what they're using to sort of generally associate to the trailer park here. Alright, so there's that. And here was one, just an actual web. That wasn't it. Where is that? Oh man, really? I think that's closed off. Let me see if I can. I'm going to open up Firefox over here. Give it one shot to do it. Maybe it won't lose its. There you go. Okay. Jenny Hammond was a bright Douglas County teenager who wanted to see the United States and earn summer money when she went to upstate New York in 2003 as part of a crew selling magazine subscriptions. On Monday, a hunter in Saratoga County, New York, found Hammond's remains 6 years after the 18-year-old was dropped off at a trailer park in Ballston Spa, New York, to sell subscriptions. She was never seen alive again. Her death is being treated as a homicide, said Major William Sprague of the New York State Police. It is absolutely the most horrible thing that could happen to any parent's life, said Hammond's mother, Valerie Tiller. It was devastating. Tiller, a longtime elementary school teacher, originally from Douglas County, said she came home Thursday evening to an answering machine from New York detectives asking that she call. At 7 a.m. Friday, they called her and told her Jenny's remains have been found. I'm so grateful that she will not be forgotten, said her mother, who lives in Texas. She will be buried in Colorado. Colorado was where she grew up. Her friends will be able to say goodbye. On August 1st, 2003, Hammond was traveling in the area with other young people selling subscriptions for a company called Atlantic Circulation. She was dropped off at the trailer park, and when her ride returned 2 hours later, she was not there. Sprague said Friday that the hunter found a partial skull, jawbone, and 6 teeth, 3 of which had unique dental work. Aware of the individuals who had disappeared in the area, so there's individuals who had disappeared in the area, the state police quickly focused on Hammond, whose family had previously provided investigators with Hammond's dental chart. We were fortunate that they're probably actually referring to Christina White as well. They described her daughter as having an outgoing, friendly personality. She loved the arts. She attended Castle Rock Middle School, then Douglas County. Hammond had a friend who had sold subscriptions, and selling subscriptions appealed to Hammond because she wanted to go out and see the world. She told me she wanted to see new places. She anticipated she would make a little summer money. During her summer in the East, Tiller said Hammond would call her at least once a month, but before she disappeared, she told her father, Davis Hammond, that she wanted to come home, and Davis Hammond bought her a bus ticket back to Colorado. At the time, Tiller and Davis Hammond were going through a divorce. She had never been away from home except on family vacations, and I just assumed she was homesick for her family and her sister, said Tiller, referring to Jenny's younger sister, Julie, who was 19 and attending college in Colorado. Hammond was missing for 3 months before a police report was filed, according to Saratoga County Sheriff James Bauman. She had left the magazine group before without telling others, only to return later, he said. Tiller said her then-husband had given Jenny permission Oh, so she actually was married, huh? Tiller said her then husband had given Jenny permission to sell the subscriptions during the summer. But Tiller said, in retrospect, she doesn't believe selling door-to-door subscriptions is safe. Yeah. Well, we remember that one case a few years ago, that girl, I can't remember even what state it was in, but she was selling books at a house and was grabbed by the person in the house, and she ended up jumping out the window. And then they arrested the guy because she got away. But she jumped out of a second floor window. You guys remember that one? Seems like that was like 3 or 4 years ago. Magazine sales were not and are not safe situation for anyone, Tiller said. It's not safe for people to go to strange areas and knock on strange doors. Couldn't agree more. It's almost like hitchhiking. You are literally getting into, like you could say, in somebody else's car or now somebody's house that you don't know. Tiller said that after her daughter's disappearance, she went through grief counseling. I know where she has been. She has been in heaven. Davis Hammond declined comment. All right. Was that was Hammond, yeah, okay. So then there's this article. It's called isaratoga.blogspot.com. So I'm just kind of want to see what they're thinking in here, because this looks like this was written in 2009, and it looks like they were kind of wondering about something similar to that. Sheriff James Bauman's voice carried a hint of reluctance as he discussed the circumstances behind Jennifer Marie Hammond's disappearance in August of 2003. The doe-eyed 18-year-old and suburban enclave near Denver, or from the suburban enclave near Denver, was selling magazine subscriptions at the Creek and Pines Trailer Park in Milton when she vanished. So this was written in 2009. Oh, there goes my stomach. No one from her company had thought much of it. She had wandered off before, so her disappearance, while peculiar, wasn't particularly unexpected. But when she didn't gather her belongings from an Albany area lodge and never used a bus ticket she had purchased to go back to Colorado, someone thought to report her missing in November and more than 3 months after she had last been seen. Jennifer's name never made it to the media. Yeah, I looked it up. There's almost nothing. Perhaps it was because she wasn't the type of girl to carry news headline. She wasn't from the area and didn't have any forthcoming local connections. She was too old to create the fervor caused by a disappearing child. Man, this is exactly true what's being written right here. And she may have the trademarks that would link her to so-called counterculture, not the type of characteristics that resonate well with the white-bread 40-something demographic that tunes into nightly newscasts to get their fill of water cooler talking points. Jennifer didn't fit the bill, so deputies from the Saratoga County Sheriff's Department, and that's what I think is cool about the freaks here, is we are here for all kinds of cases, ones that nobody really ever talks about, from 1987 disappearance of so and so, right? Like, it's just, we just go over it, and at least their name gets talked about ever so often. Every once in a while we have a case like these cases like this that are national. And then you cover them because they're interesting and there's a lot of reporting going on, so you can start putting things together. Everyone wants to know where their loved one is that is missing. You always look every day for that person. Hold on, I'm going to get Windows circulated. Okay. Always look every day for that person to contact you or turn up. Bowen told gaggle of reporters and cameramen gathered at the county courthouse Thursday. If we can put a little closure, even though it's a sad closure, at least it'll give closure. I don't believe in closure at all. It doesn't exist. But closure wasn't what was gnawing on Bauman's conscience Thursday. In fact, closure was about the last thing on his mind. Instead, it was another case that came to the forefront, one that is anything but closed. Christina White's skeletal remains were found in March of 2006, more than 8 months after she vanished into the night. She had an argument with a family member on the eve of her disappearance. Yeah, there's a lot of guilt there, I'm sure. And was last seen walking along Rock Creek Road, just a short distance from her home in the trailer park called Saratoga Village. Some say she left her home after having an argument with a family member. She vanished just 5 days before her 20th birthday. We're following all the leads. It's going slowly, Bauman told the Times-Union. Slowly indeed. Nearly 4 years later, Bauman's crack team of investigators doesn't seem any closer to solving Christina's murder than they did when a hunter stumbled upon her bones in Greenfield's Datetown forest. Wait, let's stop there for a second. If anyone noticing a few similarities between these cases, some reporters certainly are. Christina disappeared from a trailer park in Milton, and her skeletal remains were found in a remote area about 6 miles away where she was last seen. Jennifer disappeared from a trailer park only a mile away from Saratoga Village and was found in a remote location, and it's actually not even a mile, and was found in a remote village, Saratoga Village, and was found in a remote location about 4 miles away from Christina's remains. Both girls were petite. Christina was 5, and see, you get the similarities here, the really short, kind of a little bit like the Long Island serial killer. And isn't it interesting, too, right? Because how tall is Rex Horman? He's this really big dude. And apparently, so is Craig Ross. He's like 6'4", 200 and, I've heard like 250, something like that. Huge guy. And so, for some reason, these huge wackos like these little tiny girls, So anyways, Christina was 5'3" and weighed 98 pounds. So in his mind, she probably represented a child, just like I believe Rex Hurman was doing. And described as 5'2", and so that would be, so Jennifer was 5'2" and weighed 110 pounds. Both had childlike features for their age. Jennifer's bone structure was small enough that investigators initially believed her skull to be that of a 10 to 12-year-old child. Christina and Jennifer were the type of girls who would disappear for spells without drawing alarm. Christina was described as bipolar and someone who would frequently vanish into the woods on long walks. Jennifer described as sort of a freewheeling hippie who went by moniker Moonbeam and with a peace symbol tattooed to her hip. They vanished in the dead of summer, and this is summer again right here, but it's the late summer. The dead of summer, and it's less traveled areas. We're in the fall now, though, aren't we? Yeah, just the beginning. They vanished in the dead of the summer, and in less traveled areas in the country, places where you can stand on the road without seeing a car for long spells. Jennifer disappeared in August of 2003. Christina disappeared 22 months later. Both missing persons were handled by the Saratoga County Sheriff's Department, and both women reappeared in bone form. Neither skeleton was complete. These similarities may not sound identical, but they're close enough to draw suspicion. At the very least, maybe even alarm. Lightning seldom strikes the same spot twice, and when it does, there's a good chance those two bolts were more than just a coincidence. See, I mean, I don't read these articles beforehand. So the thing is, when you read this one, this is how I'm thinking too about this situation. Bowen refused to say it Thursday, but it was certainly on the minds of more than one person. These cases could be serial by nature. New York's long-tenured lawman ought to keep this in mind as he contemplates how long he can... Yeah, it's sort of weird now. I mean, where was Rex Herman at this time? Those two victims match him perfectly. And this is back during, right at the sort of the heyday of the Long Island serial killer, and it's the same state. So that's sort of interesting, right? Let's see. Keep this in mind as he contemplates how long he can let the investigation drag on without answers, because he's going to have a lot of nervous residents on his hands if he lets the case plug along like usual. Yeah. So there's people commenting on there. These links are in the description if you want to check them out. So what do you think, you guys? What do you think? I got to go use the restroom, but again, if we get the month started off good, if you guys like to help support the channel, that'd be absolutely awesome. And I'm going to go use the restroom. You can listen to that awesome break music. Hey, thank you, Cali Gal 3. Very nice of you, thank you. Let's see. Oh yeah, remember that last night when my door opened in here and it was like, ah! Well, I guess what happened was the painters, when they came in, they, yeah, it said Rex Herman. Huh? Why are people typing in Herman over and over and over again? What happened? Yeah, the door was actually hitting the wood on above, but the painters had taken the door off, so it changed it from how the the guy, my friend that did it. So now it's just really quiet. It's like totally different. It was amazing. It was so loud. I was like, ah! Hey, thanks, WNC Granny. I'm late. We'll go and start. That he has Emma. I don't know. So why are people typing in Hoorman, even though I was saying that? Oh, you didn't know what Rex was. Okay, you asked who you're talking about. Yeah, Rex Hoorman is the serial killer in the Long Island serial killer case. Let's just go zoom out and see. Yeah, so Hoorman he's right here. He lived in this area. How many miles is that? Yeah, it's like 170 miles away. Didn't he have some property somewhere? I guess he lived there at one time. I just think, I think it's more likely. I think these two are absolutely related. And then it's very possible, not just sort of like, well, it's possible. I think it's very, very likely like that Craig Ross has something to do with these. I'll just give you the thing again. Christina White lived in this trailer park, the same trailer park that Craig Ross lived in at some point. Jennifer was seen right at this intersection, and she was selling books. Jennifer Moonbeam. She was selling books in here, last name Hammond, and was abducted, likely right around in this area too. And then at the same time, look where Craig Ross' mom lives, and eventually they find the young Charlotte Sena inside this trailer right here and arrest him right there. So all inside of the circle with a half-mile radius. I guess maybe it was a mile, what they were saying. Hold on. Yeah, 0.95. So a mile from here to here, except they said that she was last seen here, and Moonbeam was last seen. Let's see, Jennifer was last seen there. Oh, and then they say Christina was last seen right there. One article said that, but she lived in this trailer park. Won't that be something for her to be found alive? And yeah. I can't tell you 100% on any of this stuff, but all right, this is another article on the last one. This one came out just this August. Don't you think that's weird a little bit? On August 31st, just a month ago, really, this article came out on Jennifer Hammond here. Wednesday marked the 20th anniversary when 18-year-old Jennifer Marie Moonbeam Hammond was reported missing. In 2009, hunters near Lake Desolation Road in Greenfield found human remains which were confirmed to be that of Hammond after DNA analysis. The Saratoga County Sheriff's Office is now asking the public for any information amid the anniversary of her disappearance. According to New York State Police, Hammond was last seen selling magazines in the Creek Pine Trailer Park in Ballston Spa. So she was literally seen in the trailer park. She didn't show up at the designated pickup location with her employer. Hammond was originally from Littleton, Colorado, and had a bus ticket from Albany to Colorado. On October 25th, 2009, which is basically 4 or 6 years later, state police said Hammond's skull was found in a wooded area off of Lake Desolation Road in Greenfield. The case was ruled a homicide. The Saratoga County Sheriff's Office encourages anyone who has any information about this case to contact 518-885-6761. So hopefully somebody, I would literally think that there's a reasonably good chance that those are related. And then the article just on her. This is, see, look how young she looks in that one. This is Christina White, 5'3", 95 pounds. Christina White was last seen by family members on the evening of June 30th, 2005, again in Bolston Spa, Saratoga County, New York. Her skeletal remains were found almost a year later on Daketown Road, Greenfield, Saratoga County, New York, about 8 miles from her home. She had been stabbed in the abdomen. Her phone, wallet, and knife that she always carried were missing. Maybe that's why they want to do a search warrant at Craig Ross's house to see if they can locate any of the souvenirs that were missing from the other 2 cases. What do you think of that? What if they already found souvenirs at his mother's house and wanted to go to this house to see if they could find others? Maybe inside of that trailer park. These are just, I'm speculating here. Wow, that's nuts. All right, so let's see what this one says about her. In the world of crime reporting, July 2005 was a very long time ago. Ask most cops and court aficionados, and they'll tell you that the news then is about as good as ancient history. During these 16 months, Christopher Porco of Bethlehem was tried and convicted of killing his father and seriously injuring his mother. Also arrested and convicted during this time was murderer Sean Doyle of Hudson Falls, who bound and gagged 33-year-old Lori Leonard, then crammed her body unceremoniously in a toolbox and dumped it in the Champlain Canal. Authorities also managed to track down and elicit a confession from Raymond DeLorenzo, who admitted to unloading a rifle into his estranged wife's face while she was parked at a convenience store in Glen Falls with their 13-year-old daughter in the back seat. But among these high-profile cases, there are some that just happen to fly beneath the radar, long enough to drop off the precipice of media coverage into the realm of distant recollection. Such is the situation with the missing persons and subsequent murder investigation of 19-year-old Christina White, who vanished from a rural trailer park in Milton just 5 years before her birthday. By all published accounts, Christina was a quiet and attractive young woman who lived on the wrong side of the tracks, so to speak. The petite community college student was known to flee her home at the Stockdale Trail Park, where she was distraught and was said to suffer from bipolar disorder. Neighbors reported last seeing her walking with a group of men towards an area where adolescents are known to congregate. Tasked with finding White during the summer of July 2005, and now her killer, are the stalwart deputies of the Saratoga County Sheriff's Department, who certainly have done their part to investigate this case. They issued a press release when the troubled girl went missing, then followed it up with another press release when her skeletal remains were found dumped in the Daketown forest, a scant 100 feet away from the roadway. Mind you, it took sheriff investigators 9 months to crack a lead in White's case, and the only reason they did was because a hiker walking his dog through the forest happened to stumble over her remains. They also didn't need much help finding the cause of death. At least one stab wound to the abdomen, because the county coroner took care of that for them. Some of Christina's neighbors took a critical approach towards investigators, saying that they had worked hard enough to find her they hadn't worked hard enough to find her when she first disappeared. Undersheriff Michael Woodcock fired back, insisting that detectives worked this case hard. Sure they did. That is, if you consider faxing a missing persons poster to media outlets hard work or monitoring the cell phone calls and bank records of a dead woman a quality investigation. When White disappeared, Sheriff James Bowen, the longest tenured and possibly most recalcitrant regulator in New York, at least had the excuse that his department was short-staffed and undermanned to properly police the county's burgeoning population. That all changed in November, when the county approved the hiring of 23 additional personnel for the sheriff's department, including 3 detectives and 10 deputies, at a cost of $1.2 million, or an average of $52,000 per employee. And apparently, the extra manpower hasn't helped much. I'm not sure where they're going with this, but Christina's murder continues to walk free, and the sheriff's department continues to not concern itself with the case. Media sources hovered around the finding of the body in mid-March, but have since ignored the case. The last article to even mention the homicide hit the streets nearly 6 months ago. Frustrated with the interaction, and disgruntled relatives have decided to make an appeal to the web community for help in solving Christina's murder. Any help. Hopefully, someone who knew this young woman in life and might have any inkling of how she met her untimely death will respond to the plea for information for this post. See, what's interesting about it is, these are both unsolved cases right in the backyard of Craig Ross. Like he lived right here and he lived right here. He lived in both of these places, and 2 girls are went missing, and their bodies were discovered, but there's never been an arrest made in those 2 cases. Now, had there been any sort of arrest there, you'd go, yeah, they're not related. But isn't it weird, though, that there's never been an arrest in those 2? Because likely Craig Ross flew under the radar. I don't think anyone would be covering this anymore. What are you talking about? What do you think? Man, I think there's a lot of things. These 2 cases are cold for 20 years. They live within a half mile, or like a mile at the most, maybe 0.8 miles, both individuals who went missing, from where Craig Ross Jr. lived, and then one of them lived in the same trailer park as him. Christina White and Craig Ross both lived in this trailer park. Come on, you guys. Come on. No, I didn't call them in. I figure they've got to be on top of these already. I think that's why they're really searching and spending a lot of time on this guy, because they think he's got other skeletons in the closet, so to speak. That's what I think. I think this is just absolutely ridiculous. Like, if it's not related. Okay, so we do have, in the Brian Laundrie case, when they were in Moab, Utah, and we're already aware, I had actually been covering 2 different cases. There's 2, I think it was 2 like lesbian women that were murdered in Moab, so I covered that one. And then when information came out, and there was the time where they got pulled over by the cops, Brian Laundrie, and they had the camera, we knew what date that was, and then it turns out like a day later those 2 girls were killed in the same town. And not only that, Brian Laundrie and they actually were talking to one of the girls. They went to their store, and then they ended up being murdered. So you think, wow, Brian Laundrie's a murderer. He must have murdered those 2 girls too somehow. Maybe they caught on to something. And he had absolutely nothing to do with those. So it shows you that there's these crazy coincidences out there. Hey, thank you so much, Charlotte Denny. Yeah, so I was the first one to link those together, and they weren't connected. So it's possible these aren't connected either. I think this one's more likely, though, than even the Brian Laundrie one was. This one is like, wow. Right here. And he was 26, 27 years old, 28 maybe in the second one. Welcome, Canvas and Crime. Oh, I thought it said Cannabis and Crime. Yeah, I think... yeah, I don't know. This is seeming pretty good. So let's go... I've made my case on this stuff right here. Doesn't that seem totally reasonable that he did those? I mean, for me, I would say it's like 80% that he had something to do with the murders of these two people. Plus, I also think that these are like 99% related. That Jennifer and Christina's cases they were killed by the same person. And the fact that he's here and the future developments make it likely that he had something to do with those, but maybe less likely than the connection of those two. So it's sort of like you're right in that realm. I can't say 100% certainty, but my God, are you kidding me? Oh yeah, and then there was one that, let's see, where is that? So this is one that Zozo found. I don't know if it's related. It's hard to say, but so it says missing teen found dead and tied up in shopping cart at bottom of river after 13. Wow, what a crazy, creepy. The body of Samantha Humphrey missing since November 25th. This is 2023. Was found in a river by a fisherman. The body of a teenager missing in the U.S. has been found in a river tied to a shopping cart 13 weeks after she disappeared. Samantha Humphrey, 14, was last seen near a park in upstate New York at 11:30 on November 25th. A fisherman on a pier saw the body in the Mohawk River in the city of Schenectady. Well, Schenectady isn't really too far away. It's right here. Yeah. So let's see. It's 15 miles away. That isn't like a ridiculous distance. Family members then confirmed to local media on Thursday that it was Samantha's body. The teenager's head was seen floating under an old railroad bridge, and her body was tied up inside a shopping cart. Jesus. And how tall is... I mean, she kind of looks really little because she is young. Officials expect autopsy results. Obviously, she didn't tie herself in the shopping cart. They added that the family... I mean, maybe she died of drugs and somebody... Is there more information on her? Probing the death of Schenectady Samantha Humphrey Slows. Ah, God, can you guys just get... After public plea from Samantha Humphrey's grandfather of Schenectady police, something to crack the case. Humphrey, 15, went missing November 25th near Riverside Park. So this must have been in 2022. We want to make sure that when we identify a suspect and make an arrest, that the person going to be convicted. Humphrey, 50, went missing November 25th. Her body was subsequently recovered from the Mohawk River near the park. In a letter to the editor published by Daily Gazette on Tuesday, Humphrey's grandfather said the teenager's family is in need of closure. We tried, let's see. We understand that the family is anxious waiting the update. We just don't have any to give at this point. Yeah, I think that one's like, sort of a stretch to, I mean, it's generally, within 15 miles. It just, there's nothing other than the 15 miles. These here are, it's just crazy. Like if you zoom in, that's the red circle way down there. And you zoom in on it, that's how close all of these people are. Yeah, I said that, Daniel. Oh boy. Let's see. So let's take a look at some of the Daily Mail. There's a lot of stuff that was in the Daily Mail today on Craig Ross. Right. So there we go. Charlotte Sena's family friend says kidnapping was premeditated and fears suspect had been watching her family before he snatched her during camping trip. Yeah, and that makes total sense. Look at this. This is where... I don't like that map. I like that one. Okay, so this is where Craig Ross lived. Right here. 13 Circle Drive. And then right here... Charlotte's parents lived. And look how right in between there's just sort of this wooded area here. It makes you wonder if you would creep through and walk over here and watch and then come back through. I mean, who knows, but it's only 0.25 miles, like a quarter of a mile from here to here. Might even be less if I, let's see if I click there. Yeah, 0.26. A family friend of kidnapped Charlotte Sena says he believes her abductor had to have been planned, or abductor had to have planned. How they always write weird in Daily Mail? Believes her abductor had to have been planning it, and was aware of her family member, or aware of her family before they visited the state park where she was snatched. Charlotte was last night rescued from a cabinet in the backyard trailer where suspect Craig Ross Jr. had been living. The 46-year-old is now in custody on first-degree kidnapping charges. The 9-year-old girl was snatched at around 6:15 on Saturday night from the Moreau Lake State Park where she was camping with her family. And that's what the guy looks like right there. And, so it's sort of interesting. I mean, is the beard a disguise that he's grown over the years so he doesn't look like the person when he was 26? So that's Charlotte right there. His trailer in his mother's backyard is 13 miles from the Sena family home. His car is, however, listed to a property within 2 miles of the Sena home. Well, it's actually 0.25. So when people... See, what happens is people just read an article and then they go, oh, yeah. It's literally 0.26 miles. 2 miles is, Is he a neighbor at 2 miles? No. But a quarter of a mile, he's a neighbor. He's right there. He is able to... And probably 0.4 miles driving. You just go down here, take a left, and then boom. And let's see, right here you could get a glimpse of the wooded area. So that's just thick woods right there. You could just kind of come out. I mean, who knows if he just drove by or how he did it, but definitely there's a interesting barrier here. A wooded area. It's like a red-headed Santa Claus. And look at that, you guys. They have the same map that we have. He added that Charlotte was doing well. I don't know what we can share with you. He added that Charlotte was... Okay, let me read it. His trailer in his mother's backyard is 13 miles from Sena family's home. His car is, however, listed to a property within 2 miles. Well, that is within, but it'd be better if you said within a third of a mile. Speaking on Fox on Tuesday morning, Patrick Kane, a family friend, said it's obvious he had some premeditated aspirations. I think he may have been aware of them. I don't know what we can share with you. He added that Charlotte was doing well, or was doing very well, after being reunited with her mother, Tricia. All three rushed to the hospital in Albany last night after she was found. The child was described by police as unharmed. So that sentence might make you believe that she wasn't sexually assaulted. Okay, and I hope that's the reality here. If that's the case, she'll probably have an easier recovery mentally from it. You know, well, this is what we can hope for, is that he abducted her and he treated her, you know, quote, well, whatever the hell that would mean. You've already abducted her. And so, you know, maybe in that case she could recover from it. But if she was attacked in any way, shape, or form, that would make it a lot more devastating. Ross Jr. remains in custody without bail. And that's the house. So we showed all these 2 days ago, you guys. So that's the one we said looked like the Waltons' house, you know, with a whole bunch of rooms up there. Police had his DNA on file in 1996, 1999. That's an error, I believe. I thought it was 1999. But it's unclear if he has ever committed any other crimes against children. Charlotte was hidden inside a cabinet cupboard. I mean, how weird is that? When police stormed Ross's trailer. They say initially resisted arrest, but eventually relented. He brazenly dropped off a ransom note at her parents' house at 4:20 a.m. on Monday morning, though it's unclear how much he was asking for. Oh, there. He was arraigned this morning and is now being held in county jail. No one else has been arrested in connection with the kidnapping. Alright, so we got that one. Then go to this one. Charlotte Sena is found in a cabinet in a camper van owned by her abductor, Craig Ross Jr., 47, after he left ransom note in 9-year-old parents' mailbox, triggering SWAT helicopter rescue. I think we already know that part. 2 SWAT teams, 1 state and 1 federal, swooped on the property in helicopters, with Ross said to have put up a struggle. He is being questioned and has yet to be charged. Ross Jr. drove up to Sena's parents' home at 4:20 Monday morning and left a ransom note inside their mailbox. At 2:30 p.m. Monday, investigators finally found a match. Yep, we went over all that. And that was at the press conference last night that the governor made sure to, you know, get full credit for. It's like, come on. She had absolutely nothing to do with the investigation. Investigators are believed to be focused on the theory that Charlotte was pulled into a vehicle against her will or dragged into the woods. Well, no, I mean, she was put into a vehicle, so there isn't an or there. I think she was dragged into the woods and then put into a vehicle. Police said just after 7 p.m. Charlotte had been found safe and good health. So here's what my opinion is like we've gone over it before, but I've been, for 2 days, I think on the first night we discussed this, just looking at the information, I came up with what I think is probably the most reasonable theory, and it sounds like a lot of people think that that's what's going on here. So you go right in this area here. So this is campground 11. That's 12 there. So where is 11? Is it this one? had it on the map here. I think this one is, that one's 10, right? Yeah, so anyways, you can see Saratoga Road right out there. See that? So when you go like this and you're driving around, as soon as you take a left there, let's see, what is that? So this is 11. So it must be 12 right here. This is probably where the crime scene tape is. Right in this area. And so it's right on the edge of my circle. Yeah, so there you go. There, the yellow tape is right there. So I think she did the loops with her friends, driving around. And then she wanted to do one by herself, and on that loop, came around, and I have it in this here, but if her bike is found there, that's where, so the circle should just include that little extra bit right there. And his car was parked right here on the side of the road. So let's just look at it from this direction. Go like this, like that. And you can actually see the road through the woods right there. That little white goes like that. You see that, and then we just go up into the air and then go straight to the road on the other side, then turn around, and so that would be the other direction. And so the car, if you look at the road here, easily could just pull over here. It's not, there's a little tiny downgrade and then it goes up, but you could just pull over here, or I mean, you can see there's a bank there, so we might have to look at that. Hold on a second. Alright, okay. Yeah, so actually, it does look kind of narrow there with the bank on it. Let me back up a little bit here. I mean, I think you could fit a car. I mean, you don't want that bank, though. And you wouldn't park next to there because you'd get towed away. So yeah, maybe it is on the other side of the road there. Definitely possible. Like, just park on this side. Because then it's just flat. It wouldn't be much different. So just park right here facing, I don't know, if you face this way, you'd have to turn around at that. You maybe came up here and turned around and then came back this way. But I definitely think he just parked right here. And the reason I think that is because when you look at the map here, you see that the park office is right there. Once you go into the park here, you go down to Street View. This is how you enter, right here. And that's the only way to exit too. So you have to enter and exit. A person abducting wouldn't want to be on camera or anything like that. So to me, it makes sense that they would park outside of the park right here, really close, abduct, get into the car, and drive this direction, and then get on Highway 9, and you're just driving, and he just drove all the way down, and eventually gets into Saratoga Springs, and it's not far. Like, none of this is far away from anything. Watch. So from here at the park, it's only 16 miles, probably 20 miles maximum driving. So that's my opinion on how she was abducted. But what's interesting now that we realize that they live right next to each other, he might have actually been aware that they went camping there and was, sort of waiting for his move. But what's weird is he's 6'4" and like a huge person. Basically a Sasquatch. Just sitting in, like showing up there. How come nobody saw him? It's pretty wild, isn't it? Maplewood Cemetery adults butts the wooded. Who cares? Let's see. Maplewood Cemetery abuts the wooded area behind Craig Ross's Circle Drive house, and a good shortcut to Charlotte's house. Cemetery has no fence in front. Yeah, there's all kinds of, we can come up with 1,000 different theories. Let's see. Let's do your one. Yeah, I think what I was saying is there's a wooded area here you would just go through. This cemetery's right here. I was saying there's a wooded area you go through. You must have missed that part of the show. Yeah. Yeah, and here's the thing. We don't know if he's ever been to their house or they even knew each other or anything like that. We don't have any idea. Hey, can we hit that like button, please, everybody? So let's, on the count of... Hit that like button, hit that like button. 10, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. Hit that like button. Hit that like button. If you can, use your fingers, use your nose, use whatever you can. If your nose is frozen off, if you're missing a toe, use your tongue. Whatever it takes, hit the damn like button. Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the cemetery has any difference between going through and getting through the woods here. Is it because it's a cemetery and it's like, ooh, a cemetery, ooh. Doubt he was targeting Charlotte. That's kind of a weird thought, litter picker, when he lived a quarter mile from her house. Just totally random. He ran into a girl that lives a quarter mile from his house. Even though it's like 13 miles, 20 miles to go to the park. He somehow abducts randomly a girl that lives a quarter mile from his house. I think you're going to be totally wrong, litter picker. Yeah. I think he was there and she just happened to free herself. He was going to wait for any kind of moment. And that time, and she went by herself around. I see what you're saying. But it just might have been a time he was there watching and didn't abduct her. How do we know he didn't follow her on 25 different camping trips over the last, all through the summer, and the year before even, just waiting and waiting for that one time, and here it was. I don't know. What makes you think there's children's toys behind his home? I don't know what you mean. Yeah. Well, thanks, LM. Does anyone know why so many police officers were late today? What do you mean late today? What do you mean by late today? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, when people say he was a postal worker, how do we know that? Where are we seeing the reporting that he was a postal worker? And I notice none of you have thrown me in prison tonight. I've been awesome. Right. Yeah, he has a daughter. He has a son. I think he has 3 kids. One's 22 years old. Looks like he has a daughter, too, and then really kind of a younger daughter. Maybe he was fantasizing about his younger daughter, but used the other... sounds a little bit like Richard Allen, to be honest with you. Had a video of behind his home? Where? Send me a link to that. Is it a YouTube deal or what? I didn't see JLR go back behind. They're late today. Yeah, no, they're late. They're not late like they're late. Yeah. Oh, you said it that way. I misread your comment. Yeah. I think they're looking for something else. I think that's why I'm doing the show tonight, because I think that they think there's connections and they're looking for links. There were items missing from, let's see, I think it was Jennifer Hammond. Some of her items were missing, so it's possible they're looking for those souvenirs, maybe. Yeah, I saw the sun thing. Why would he make that private? Jesus. Let's see. Why would a serial killer leave a ransom note? Yeah, I don't know. I mean, that's the one. The ransom note is what I said earlier, is sort of the one outlier fact that makes you kind of think, don't know. We'd have to be able to read the ransom note, though. And was it really a ransom note? Yeah. Yeah, he always does those pointing at something. Oh my God, you guys. I'm gonna have to ban that name now. You guys are just like every second. Let's see. Always it was a neighbor's yard. I think the government becoming involved made him think that it was an opportunity for him to get money from it. I don't know. Oh God. Yeah, we know. We know, man. We know. We get it now. We get it. Check the empty lot across from the campground. No thanks. Let's see. He made the video before private. Yeah. What is the motive of the ransom? Does the family have money? I don't know. The hug was an accident, huh? You've already done that, Danielle, yourself. I mean, don't tell other people to not do it when you did it yourself about 30 minutes ago. You know? I mean, if I want to talk about them, I will. All right. I don't know why a serial killer would leave a note. I mean, we can come up with all kinds of reasons. It could just be that that's what he felt like doing, and then he realized he, like he didn't want to do anything to her. So he thought, well, hell, maybe I can make some money off of it. I mean, I don't know. He apparently he was broke currently. But where are you guys coming up with that he was a mailman? Anybody? Yeah, these guys. Hold on a second. Ah. So Times Union, you guys, make sure to go there and subscribe if you feel like it. They've got a whole bunch of good articles on this. All right, I'm going to read this last one here. All right. So here we go. Police closed sex abuse probe of kidnapping suspect last month. The incident was alleged to have occurred more than a year ago, but the complaint against 46-year-old Craig N. Ross Jr. was filed this summer. Oh boy, you guys. Here we go. There he is. 46 has been charged with kidnapping. All right. The suspect in the kidnapping of a 9-year-old girl from a state park campground last week had been the subject of a recent state police investigation into allegations that he had sexually abused a female family acquaintance when she was about 12 years old. The incident was alleged to have occurred more than a year ago, so probably a friend of their youngest daughter. But the complaint against 46-year-old Craig N. Ross Jr. was filed this summer. State police closed that investigation last month without filing any charges. Well, you probably emboldened the hell out of him. Who had denied the girl's allegations, according to 3 sources briefed on the investigation. The new information about Ross comes, and thank you for sending me that, Linda. The new information about Ross comes amid scrutiny of the actions of a state trooper who was guarding the residence of the 9-year-old girl's family when the suspect in her abduction dropped off a ransom note before dawn on Monday, and then drove away in his pickup truck without being stopped, according to multiple sources. Those sources said there has been no allegation that the trooper mishandled the incident, but the agency is examining, why didn't he, go over and question the person? Whether Ross, who had been charged with first-degree kidnapping, I was trying to figure out how they knew that he dropped it off at 4:20. Now we know that there was a deputy just watching. The ransom note allegedly asked for $50,000, and Ross may have made the girl write it. Oh, jeez. According to another source briefed on the investigation. Luckily, the note allegedly included fingerprint that was linked to Ross through a state database around 2:30 p.m. Monday. 4 hours later, roughly 14 hours after Ross had dropped off the note, he was arrested by members of a specially trained police tactical unit while clothed in his underwear in a trailer on the Barrett Road property where his mother Joan lives in an adjacent mobile home. The 9-year-old girl was found stuffed in a cupboard inside the trailer. She was taken by ambulance to Albany Medical Center Hospital after SWAT team members rescued her. Ross was apparently uncooperative after he was arrested Monday. He initially struggled with police officers and received what officials described as minor injuries. In post-arrest interview that lasted a few hours, Ross gave few details about his alleged abduction of the 9-year-old girl from the Moreau Lake State Park on Saturday evening, including whether he had specifically targeted her or just happened upon her that evening as she rode her bike alone in the campground. State police leaders and Governor Kathy Hochul declined comment. Let's see. But at a news conference late Sunday night, we knew that part. The governor then said that at 2:30 p.m. Monday, the fingerprint on the ransom note was matched. So that's pretty interesting. But there are still additional delay, law enforcement sources said, because some of the SWAT team members involved in the raids and arrests were flown in from other areas. Wow. All right, anyways, that was from Times Union there. Obviously on the ground there. Alright, I'll try that. If it doesn't pop up right away, I'm not going to continue looking for it. Yeah, it doesn't. That thing that you told me to type in didn't lead to anything. There's no Fox News article. So... Well, there's Fox News way down there. I mean, maybe it's in there. Let's see. The word postal's not even in the article, so that's not it. Craig Ross Jr., Charlotte Sena, postal worker. Nothing. Let's try this one. And it's not in that one either. Forget it. Okay? I don't buy it. Give me a good link and I'll...
Tonight we have new information.
State in Saratoga County, and he joins us now.
I've been praying for 49-year-old girl in
let's
upstate New
listen to
York.
this
We're learning more about the fingerprint on a ransom note that police say helped them find her alive and make the arrest. And tonight, police are working to see if Craig Ross is linked to any other crimes. CBS 2's Tony Aiello spent the day in upstate in Saratoga County, and he joins us now live. Tony.
Maurice, a family member told me Charlotte Sena spent the day quietly with her mom and her dad. Can you imagine that family's relief to have Charlotte safely back home? It's a sense of relief widely shared in this community.
I've been praying for 48 hours since I got the first Amber Alert.
Carol Brown lives just down the road from the location where police found Charlotte Sena hidden in a trailer behind the suspect's mother's home. Brown knew something was up Monday night as her quiet neighborhood exploded with activity.
Then the entire road lit up right here with police
Doesn't show up,
officers,
man. Not
with
gonna look again.
helicopter overhead, just like out of a movie.
This drama had a happy ending. Charlotte, shaken but in good physical condition. Suspect Craig N. Ross, age 46, grabbed by members of a local SWAT team. He's charged with kidnapping Charlotte from Moreau Lake State Park as she biked on Saturday. The governor says Ross set the stage for his own arrest by visiting the girl's home, putting a ransom note in the family mailbox early Monday morning.
Leaving a critical piece of evidence behind, his own fingerprint.
A check of the print led cops to the suspect within hours. Witnesses say the assembled first responders erupted with applause when Charlotte was found in good condition. As for Ross,
My family had an issue with him in the beginning of
Maybe it
the
was
summer.
Charles Ross.
Carol Brown says she came outside one day as her young grandson was in the yard.
And standing over him, right over him with his back to me, was that man. And my heart sank.
You confronted him, he got on his bike, and he rode away.
Yes. And I believe with all me was...
Says she came outside one day as her young grandson was in the yard.
Wow.
And standing over him, right over him with his back to me, was that man. And
Wow.
my heart sank.
That's crazy.
You confronted him, he got on his bike, and he rode away.
Yes. And I believe with all my heart after last night that probably my grandson was this close.
So the suspect gave the court a different address in Porter Corners, New York. We checked. That address in Porter Corners is literally just around the corner from where the Sena family lives, and that raises all kinds of questions about whether Charlotte was known to the suspect and whether he targeted her. That address in Porter Corners was searched today along with other locations. This is still a very active investigation. The suspect remanded to jail without bail. Live in Saratoga County, New York.
What?
Tony
Can you guys
Aiello,
just send me the
CBS
link
2
that
News.
actually says he's
All
a
right, Tony,
mailman?
thank you. A spokesperson for the
My
Sena
God.
family released a statement saying in part...
I have like, everybody keeps saying, oh, look at this one up here. I've looked at all the places that you guys are typing in the chat, and not one of them says he's a mailman. Not one of them. Okay, so send me a link that isn't one of the, the paywall ones like Fox News or somebody else like that, that literally just says, oh, he's a mailman, and it says it right in the article. Because I've looked up everything that you guys have typed in while that was playing, and not one of them had the word mailman or anything like it in it. All right, so if you're trying to help out, help. Like literally send the link to my email that has it in it that you just read. All right, you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I just looked that one up. I just went to the WNYT and it wasn't in there. Sorry about that. I just looked that one up, Sunset Gazing. Did not see it at all. So if you want to send me an email that has the article, I'll read it and then I'll say thank you. Let me get back to here. But either way, I'd rather just... I want to do the... what's that? A Few Good Men. What was the thing at the end? I'd rather just be on my way and have you... I'm not grumpy at all. I just think it's just ludicrous. When people say, oh yeah, this... I don't believe anything until I see it in an article. Okay? So when you... look at that. Cheryl said, you're so mean. And that means that poor Gray is now in prison. And we're frozen. Although I don't think I'm mean. I think it's so freaking frustrating. All right, let's see. Somebody sent me one. But we won't get to see it until I get taken out of prison. Yeah, I mean, it's just like when you type in chat, go here, go there. How long does it take you to take the link of what you were just looking at and sending an email with it? It takes literally 10 seconds and we could just keep moving on. Because none of the stuff that you guys had me look up led to anything. So it looks like a few people have sent me that and I can see that it might be in there, but we're in prison now and we're going to have to get bailed out. It also helps raise the funds on the channel, if you weren't aware. Yeah, a lot of it turned out to be true. Remember the stuff that we thought was rumors yesterday, Zozo, about the note and the fingerprint and all that? That was real. I've seen less... I mean, I'm not following all the crazy crap, so I haven't seen a lot of rumors yet. No bail, wet wipes. For your prison sport collection. Hey, thank you. For a bit of bail, Simply Me said. Okay. I think we're making our way to the gate. Yep, we're paying off the guard to look the other direction. We bought we have a little down payment on the bail. Yeah, I get annoyed a lot sometimes. I mean, it's like when people want to help out, like literally help, you know? So now 6 people sent me links that have mailman in it. We just can't see it yet because I'm still languishing in prison. We aren't even out the gate yet. The post office wants nothing to do with this. Chanel Glover, okay, we're getting closer to the gate. Getting closer. Oh, there we go. Now, we just got bail. Now we're standing out front with our thumb up in the air. Trying to get a ride to the hotel. Thanks, Cannabis and... I'm just kidding. Yeah, bail is just... You know what bail is when you see it, right? Getting close, though. We got outside the door. I guess the payment for being so mean is that I'm walking down the street alone. Right. All right, let me get out of here. What kind of person doesn't think fingerprints these days? I don't know. I don't think people think fingerprints on an envelope. I think some people don't think that. I'll read the one that Eugenie... Who was Craig Ross? God, it better show up. It's not even in that one. What word am I looking for? Is it mailman or like what, post office? Mailman. It's not in that one, Eugenie. What word am I looking for? Yeah, I typed that in. Mail box there, and then M, it blinks out because it's not there. Oh my God, you guys are, this is just getting nuts at this point. So that one doesn't have it. Okay, this one is a Fox article, apparently, that has the word mailman in it. Hold on. Ah! There it is. It actually exists, everybody. Can you believe it? Da-na-na-na. Man, we need to, like, what? How do we celebrate this? My God. Where is it? Yes, everybody, tonight we finally found the mailman. Yes, Eugenie, I actually typed the word mailman on the entire article and it popped up with nothing. Maybe I was looking at the wrong place. I don't know, but it searches the whole page. Thank you so much, everybody, for finding an article with the word mailman in it. It's absolutely incredible, everybody. Apparently, Craig Ross might actually be a mailman tonight at 7 o'clock. Although it's 7:30 right now. Alright, okay. Let me try. I'm going to try to do... I'm going to do Eugenie's one more time. Okay. Maybe it opened up the wrong... Okay, move it over here. It's right here. Right? That's the one, right? So maybe... Let's see. Maybe it popped up at the wrong screen. Mail... Man. Oh, there it is. So you know what I think happened was when I opened up your link, it popped up a different window for some reason. No, it does. I see it right here. Adding another layer of intrigue to the case is Ross's occupation. According to WNYT, the main source of this, who could be wrong in themselves, Craig Nelson Ross Jr. is a mailman. So how is he broke as a mailman? Those guys get huge. The information raises further questions about the man's daily life and interactions. Yes, it makes you wonder if he was driving around as a mailman and kids would run up and he started marking down possible victims, perhaps. You never know. This information raises further questions about the man's daily life and interactions. He's 47 years old from Boston Spa. Yeah. So let's open up another one, see if there's any extra. Does this one have it? Mailman. There we go. Look, yeah, so it's just the same. Does it link to? Okay, there's their article. A ransom note was the big clue in helping to find Charlotte Sena, 9, investigators said. The family received a note which led police to the suspect. Mailman. Now, see, the word mailman isn't even in the link to WNYT. Isn't that strange? So it must be called something else, like postal. No. How weird, huh? The WNYT that they link to... Well, maybe it's in this here. No? Is that what it is? A letter carrier? No. I thought you were telling me that because that's what the answer was. Forget it. More than one shooter. Oh, really? Hold on a second.
There's Thurgood Marshall.
Oh, apparently there's a shooting going on right now. At Morgan State University. Live breaking news. I don't know if you want me to switch over to that. Might be able to take a look at it. We can get the scanner audio on and check it out. What do you think? I mean, it's just kind of random if you're here watching right now. I don't really have any more to add anyways to this. I think we were kind of out of time. I was about ready to end the show, so let's switch over. Abby, let's see. So this is at Morgan State University. Yeah, I guess that's in, was it Maryland? Okay, yeah, right here. And what county is that in, you guys? Help me out here. You don't have to send me an email on that one to get me the county. Let's see, Broadcastify. Oh, it'll probably have top feeds right at the top. Yep, there it is, Baltimore. Yeah, here we go.
Like 401, that's going to be 24. He's in medic 13 with one of the victims. Yeah. All right, 10-4. We're trying to get a good victim count and whether they're students or non-students.
Wow.
Well, now we have four victims, all students.
Here, should I switch the title to something?
And 3300 Unit 8, fire chief's on scene. He's got the command post I set up.
How about we switch it? Morgan State University shooting. I don't know how that would work. It's hard to stop a show and then go live again, you know. Active shooter situation. The Baltimore Police Department is responding to an active shooter incident at Morgan State University. After 9 p.m., Baltimore Police Department and medics were requested to the 1700 block.
Unit 41 to KJ, ladder with 09.
10-409.
East Cold Spring.
Do you know if the garage has been cleared of possible suspects?
Right here.
1047. That was Morgan State needing that. I am not aware if they cleared it or not. All right, 10-4. If you can direct one unit to the Talmadge Field House, we have a crime scene here with multiple casings. Also, anybody on this air at Morgan in the 7th floor of the dormitory at the window that has the projectile inside, identify.
7540. We have police units on the 7th floor.
All right, 7540, I need you to assign one officer in that room where the window's broken and the projectile's inside. To stay in that room, make sure nobody gets there until crime lab comes. 10-4, and identify who it is to the command post. Oh, no, copy. Do I have a unit that's up there? Northeast, I believe 6. Go ahead and roll that.
Is this a predominantly African American?
Can you do me a favor? Are you able to safely get that location on some floor or get a team up that location to hold that room? If it's okay with squad, the tag isn't already covered. The officer in that room on the 7th floor, identify the unit number.
7542, 41 or 09.
09, stand by.
Alright, Morgan State Police, 38 is holding that room.
Multiple people have been shot at an address that appears to
41 direct.
close to
Morgan State is holding that room. What is the room number? It was Morgan 38 holding it. What's the room number?
Huh.
700S, sir. 700 South, 700S.
Copy, 700S. 09, just send a unit to the Talmadge Field House for the crime scene here. KGA, did you already request crime lab?
We were at before the second shooting started happening. I'll send someone back over to me.
I don't know what they're saying. 700.
It's 10-4. And be advised, we getting a caller saying that they're in Blount building and someone's knocking on the door.
There's Blount Tower. Randomly. I just happened to see that right when she said that.
Oh, now I got a unit coming to the shell casing.
41 direct. Thank you, 09.
7540. We're in the Thurgood Marshall building, and if you can advise all the units holding the stairs that we'll be sending people down through the elevators and also on 7C. We'll be talking internal.
Unit 42 to 7540. What floor are you guys on now?
Sir, we're still on the 7th floor. We're doing room by room.
And Charleston, Okay, did you copy? We got a call from someone in Blount building, said that someone keeps knocking on the doors. Not sure if it's y'all or not. Just advised another call.
10-4. We're not in that building.
This is being built.
Unit 41 to KGA. Can we route that to Morgan Police so they can go through their dispatcher for any calls that we don't deem exigent circumstances for this shooter?
This is in Maryland, Morgan State University.
And Foxtrot the Unit 41.
So somebody sent me an article saying that this.
And Fox the Unit 41 and Unit 8 per Morgan State, they did clear and deem the garage secured.
Unit 8, a copy. Unit 42 and 41 copies.
He claims to suffer from MS. Craig Ross, okay, just to let you know. And then he moved in with his mom's trailer so that he could go abduct kids. I mean, what? I don't believe it. I think he went there.
Citywide, all units are involved in the Morgan State incident are to switch to 4C. Once again, all units that is involved in the Morgan State
So
incident
we don't get to listen.
is to switch to 4C, 2225.
Which means we don't get to hear a damn thing. Well, this is the campus anyways. Well, look out. Now it's just dead quiet. They probably realized they were on YouTube or something. Yeah, I guess there's multiple people shot. Let me go back to the.
Okay. Unit sequence stage on 804.
So it was at 10 p.m. So just 30 minutes ago. An active investigation is currently underway.
Unit with sequence stage on 804.
Disregard, man. Reset me.
Gave the address as 1700 block of Ariman Drive. Okay. Yeah. $1,700. Yeah, so it's weird. That's that same Marshall, but has it been built? I mean, this thing, this Google Earth is from, I think, somewhat recent, you know, so I'm not sure. Let me see. Yeah, so that's May of this year. I don't know how they built that whole building since May. There's no chance at that.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no.
Who do I have on?
Well, they probably went to a private
Ellen
channel.
and Argonne. Is that 11?
Maybe not everybody, though. I don't know.
Are you still on down on Ellen and Argonne?
It's Oregon.
Okay, make sure no one else come this way. Pedestrian or vehicles, unless it's police command. If it's someone on their way to work, they have to go down Cold Spring. They can't make it down Argonne. So no more civilians at all. And if you have a crime scene, they go ahead and block it off on the sidewalk.
Yeah, so what we're doing right now is we were just covering the Craig Ross, and we were just about done with the show, but then there's an active shooter, so we just switched over to that. I don't know how long I'm going to do this for them.
Unit 41, KJ, man, ladder with 09.
10-4, 09.
Stand by.
Yes, the Talmadge Field House. Could you have someone with cones so we can start marking all these casings over here, and then they'll be here to secure it till
Okay,
crime
so
scene.
they've got a bunch of
We have an
casing.
MMU here, and then that way 41 and 42 we can continue over to the Thurgood Marshall dormitory, where 7540 is clearing the floors.
10-4, I sent a unit over there to you. You may not have cones, but you might have someone standing there next to you able to cover that until I can get someone with cones over there.
10-4.
Yeah, so it's right here. It doesn't even look like it's built
I haven't
yet.
forgot. That's where I was at before this happened. I was trying to get cones about an hour ago.
Well, let me see.
I haven't forgot. I'll be over shortly.
So that must have been prior. That's there. See, there you go. You got to use an older map. The 3D model version doesn't. So like there you go. See, even in April of 2022, October. See, what's weird is it goes to October and then May of 2023, and it's not there. I don't know. I don't think they're ripping down this building. I think there's something error on Google Earth there. Yeah, that's interesting because it's not even on the street view. It's not there. And the street view is from September of this year, unless those are them right there. Hold on. No,
Hey, Charles
that's
Sena.
Blount Towers.
Stand by.
Yeah, there's nothing there.
Crime Lab wants to know if the
Weird.
scene is secure enough for them to come in, and which way should they come?
Where I'm at, it's more than this, maybe. This stationary. So, crime lab can come. They can stand by. They can stand by on Argonne and Hillman. They'll see an officer. They can cross the officer and then stand by right there.
Unit 8, raise 3300. He will tell Crime Lab where to come, and they can stand by with 3300. He has the command post.
Oh, wait, hold on a second.
Hey, 10-4.
The sunset gazing. See. Oh, something said editor's note. A prior version of the story reported that Ross is a mailman. We're switching to the other. This has since been modified as the United States Postal Service confirms he never worked there. Okay, so whatever is the truth here. That's why it was hard to find. Okay. Yeah, I have a fake. Here it is right here. You want to hear that? Here it is. Stupid.
4112 to the unit.
Killing a little buddy.
Building. Anybody answer?
Thanks, Southern Mom. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Yeah, most of them are RP channel.
Okay, let's go on to Twitter. Let me see what we can find on Twitter on this.
What's up, Ben?
Charles Sena.
Yeah, it's good. Focus to the Brooks either way.
10-4.
Unit 8, is SWAT still on this channel?
540, guys.
Hey, LT. We got some information from a couple of students who said that the shooter is possibly in room 902 or on the 9th floor itself.
What do you mean, Joseph? What do you mean? What happened?
Hold on, I got him. Let me drop the thing.
I'm not laughing at your jokes.
7540. You're saying your information is in 902?
10-4. Students just called into Morgan State Police and advised them that the shooter is possibly in room 902 or on the 9th floor itself.
You're the best.
Fort Charles 35.
Charles 35.
I'm still down here at John Hopkins. I have 2 patients that just rolled in on Medic 2. There's no officers accompanying them. I'll be with them.
Hey, 10.
We know what side of it.
Citywide, heard 4 Charlie 10. All units. Vehicle of interest in reference to the Morgan State incident is going to be a white BMW with tinted windows. Last seen in the area of Argonne and Helen. Once again, a white BMW,
right
tinted windows. Last seen in the area of Argonne and Helen. All units, anyone seeing this vehicle of interest, approach with caution. Notify the Northeast. 2234.
7540. Hold the air for a second.
We're holding the air.
It's Oregon, by the way.
Do we know what side 902 is?
I don't know. Maybe it's Argonne. No, it's Argonne. Argonn. So that's not Oregon. That's how people say Oregon, though. Argonne and Helen. No? Let's see. This is where the Thorogood Marshall building or apartment was, but they're not really there anymore. So I don't know what to make of that. Oh, and Hillen. So right here, H-I-L, it's right there. So there we go.
09 at Unit 41. I'm sorry, 09 at Unit 8.
So right in here
Unit 8
is the
09 at 8. You said that the staging area you have on Staging Way?
As I said before, raise 3,300.
09 at 3,300.
3,300.
Axial C channel, sir.
10-4, I'm dropping the state.
That's what the helicopter, that's the inner circle that's open, the eye of the helicopter storm. I mean, he's going around like this. This is the part that's clear, so the subject of what they're doing is inside of that, obviously. It's basically the campus there.
Unit 41 to KGA. All students at Morgan are to shelter in place and
This is from Twitter, what you're hearing.
not move until they get a public service announcement from Morgan. They are to stay in place and not move. Copy?
DPD is confirming there are multiple victims involved. Please continue to shelter in place.
Because the entire area.
Something come on, bro. Oh, there.
Yeah, there's all kinds of. That's probably the helicopter flying around. White BMW with tinted windows.
Pretty wise.
Crazy.
35.
Alright.
Yes, a female victim rolled in. So there's 2 males and 1 female. They're in room 1, 2, and 4 in triage.
Wow. So it sounds like somebody went into the apartment and shot some people up. I doubt it's like terrorism or anything like that. Well, I don't know how much longer I'm going to cover this thing. It's just sort of, you know, it's all over the place anyways. You can go watch it. I said I'd jump over there and see, you know, what we can find out. And here you got the helicopter flying over. Basically, if you look at my map there, you can see that's the helicopter here. That little tennis court area.
Do we have a
right
GC number attached to this?
So that's what it looks like. Yeah, I think they're still out there running around.
Do we have a CC attached to this?
But they're actually turning down, they're going to private channels too, so. I know what building it is, Matthew. We've talked about it 1,000 times. It's right here. But apparently it's not really even there anymore. Because watch this. This is the Thurgood Marshall apartment. It even says it right there on Google Earth, right?
Can you give me a landline, please?
And then watch, when you go back in time to the 2019, oh, okay, there's apartments there. That's awesome. That's really cool. Then you go down to Street View right here.
We're going to set up a staging area for
and you look over there and it's gone.
And anyone else, the civilians. It's going to be the Statesway parking lot.
The apartment isn't there anymore, and this is this month, or September 2023, there's not a damn thing there.
Available. I'm send someone there as well.
So I don't know what's going on with all of that. No idea. Makes no sense whatsoever.
CGA, do you know the address for that Statesway?
Give me a second. I can try and find out.
$401.
401.
I know you're busy. Regarding what 09 just said for the family staging area, could you assign a unit from either the eastern or southeast that is 10-8 to do that, please?
Yeah.
Okay, we have 2 Charles 32 and 32X 10-8.
Anyways, I'm gonna get out of here.
4401 Harford Road.
We're just gonna keep listening.
I just got it as well. 2 Charles 32, 2 Charles 32X.
I don't know who was shooting.
If they're on the scene up here, they're going to be wrapped up. That's why I'm saying somebody from outside
I'm
the
not
area.
there for 3 hours, Ozo. Yeah.
Okay, I'm showing them.
And it's dried up too. It's like I could spend another 2 hours.
Showing at the district is 1012.
Yeah. It's not
I understand, ma'am. Just trying to get. I mean, there's, a lot going on.
I understand.
Animal 9, give me a second. As soon as my first unit gets a vehicle, I'll send them up to 4401 Harford Road.
When you send that unit up there, just have them sit at the Safeway and start documenting parents that show up. Just have him sit there with his emergency lights on so people know to come up to him, okay?
10-4, sir. As soon as we get some vehicles to come in, right now we got several vehicles tied up on that scene. As soon as I get somebody available, they're coming up.
Oh, I'm going to have, let me get somebody from outside the district, okay?
It's the Eastern District, Cat. It's the Eastern District. Just be Animal 9.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad you guys like the show.
Sure, Chief.
13.
Yeah, I'm on Oregon and Helen with 11. I have a vehicle here. I can stay with her, and somebody just pick up my car.
So thank you to, let's see, Brown Eyed Girl 714, Eugenie, Elaine Talling, T-Bone 66Z, Amy Celeste, new member, Ariel, new member, Caligal 3, Cheryl, Sandy Shirley, Circuit Then, JT, Janelle Glover, Cindy Leon, Janet S, Nemolotus, Squatch DTV, Pixie Blue, Linda Howell, Linda K, Jeanette Poirier, I think something, Claudia Neubauer, Kentucky Churt Guy, Regina Heath, Whiskey Boots 19, LM, Simply Me, Scott Coulter, Vanessa Dance, Beth B, Brown Eyed Girl 714 again, thank you so much. JT with let's see, his mom was watching, or I don't know if it's JT's a guy or a girl though. Patricia Galindo, Mama She 13, 24 months. Linda K, new member. Then she gifted 5 memberships. Mama She 13, Caligal 3, WNC Granny, Charlotte Denny, Canvas and Crime new member, Ashley Smith, A Blank Slate, Eugenie, Simply Me, Cheryl, Janelle Glover, Canvas and Crime, and Mary Gonzalez. Is there somebody else down there? Oh yeah, and Southern Mom. I appreciate the support, and allows us to do, be on the air, doing 3-hour shows 7 days a week. Sometimes the shows go longer, and this just sort of, this is going to keep. I mean, the audio has been on that whole time that the radio. And
once that unit gets at the Safeway, could he let us know on the air that he's there?
3 Animal 9, my 3 Adam 34s en route.
You can send me a link on Facebook. I'll check it out later. I'm gonna take off the.
All right, perfect. And when he gets there, just remind him we want to start documenting family members that show up. Sit there with your lights on.
Just live eyes, and we get the parent's name, the name of the student, and a good contact number for the parent.
Perfect.
We were already covering that. You sent me a link to the active shooter. I've been covering it. What's crazy about it? I don't get it. Was there something else? Another thing? I don't know. What's crazy about that? I don't get it. Maybe I'll check it out later. All right, you guys. Thank you very much for being here. We will see you tomorrow. Thanks for helping to reach the goal and then some. Trying to have another good month here to keep on going. Hopefully we get to trying to get to 60,000 this year.
4-1, can I line up with the Northern District unit with the last name Nole? Yeah, do you see the Northern District unit with the last name Nole standing nearby? 1047, he's not down here.
Wow, that is pretty crazy there. As I was just watching that on the side. Guy just goes up and stabs the guy to death. That's crazy. Wow, that's nuts. We'll have to go over that one tomorrow. Beloved activists pictured smiling hours before New York City. Sounds like the guy was just crazy, just walking down the street. See, that's how random life is right there. Absolutely nuts. All right, well, anyways, thanks, you guys. Appreciate it. We'll see you tomorrow. And, as I always say, everybody, until next time, be safe out there. And a 1, and a 2, and a 3, and a 4.
Yeah, I've been doing this true crime thing for quite a while now.
Anyways, I think there's a good
during
chance
this whole time, I have not seen one person
that
is a
Craig
crime
Ross is related to those two other
I'm a
cases.
certified human lie detector. Gonna get ya on a stretcher if you try and play me like an old projector. Crime sector is my nectar. Professor Gregel's gonna give another lecture. Crime collector, freak connector, and I'm always gonna be a pup protector. Fool
a large quantity of self-dispatch units here. Can we start a roll call
on his
and one unit at a time to let the dispatcher know that you're here, please?
I have no agenda. I'm no pretender. Serve it to you straight without the blender.
And in the end, I'm gonna send you
on a mission to reveal the true offender.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, so I'll just get right back to work.
Yeah, I hope everything turns out in that shooting. I think the police will probably, get on to whoever it is and capture them, shoot them probably. Crazy times, crazy times. We need more law enforcement, not less, everybody. The more people we get, the more cops we need, and we need good police officers, and we need to take their handcuffs off, like everybody keeps trying to make them so they can't do anything. When a police officer tells you to do something, just do it, and you'll live. If you try to fight a police officer, there's a good chance something really bad's going to happen. So when you get pulled over and they tell you to put your hands behind your back, that's exactly what you do, all right? You don't run and get into a car and try to, then your chance of dying is pretty good. So the thing is we need more law and order in the United States. That's how you have a civil society, is when there's law and order, and apparently we're in this weird state right now where anything goes and nobody gives a shit, all right? So thank you all for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. And again, be safe out there.
Yeah, everybody. Good night. Gee.
Well, that was different. You normally say, good night, everybody, and then G.
Okay. Good night, everybody. Gee.
Yeah, it was more like that. All right, thanks, everybody. See you later. I live in Argonne.